Audrey Hepburn has long been celebrated as the epitome of elegance, grace, and timeless beauty. Fans admired her poise, her effortless charm, and the enchanting aura she carried on screen. Yet behind that perfection was a life marked by challenges few ever knew. Audrey's story was often clouded by assumptions, leaving much of her humanity hidden beneath Hollywood's spotlight. Only through intimate accounts from those who knew her can we begin to see the woman behind the icon. Her life, full of resilience and quiet determination, reveals that true beauty often arises from struggle, not privilege. A childhood shadowed by loss. Audrey's early years, though seemingly privileged, carried deep wounds. Born on May 4, 1929 in Brussels, she traveled widely across Europe, absorbing culture and language. Yet at just 6, her father, Joseph Victor Anthony Rustin, left, leaving an emotional void that never fully healed. The separation created a lasting sense of vulnerability, one she would reflect on for decades. A reunion in Dublin years later brought no closure, only the bittersweet realization of what had been lost. This early loss shaped her resilience, influencing how she approached relationships, work, and her own sense of self-worth throughout her life, surviving war and hunger. By age 10, Audrey was living in the Netherlands under Nazi occupation. Daily life became a struggle for survival, and hunger was constant. She survived on nettles, tulip bulbs, and scraps, experiences that left her physically fragile and profoundly aware of human suffering. The starvation she endured shaped not only her body, but her empathy for others. Years later, she credited these hardships with fueling her devotion to humanitarian causes. Her survival story, though seldom discussed, reveals the stark contrast between her iconic image and the young girl who faced mortality daily, teaching her lessons in endurance and compassion. The ballet that shaped her grace before Hollywood, Audrey's heart belonged to ballet. Even during the war, she performed secret recitals to support the Dutch resistance. After the conflict, she moved to London on a scholarship to study at the Marie Rambert Ballet School. Despite her dedication, she was told she lacked the ideal build and technical precision to become a professional ballerina. Height and feet size worked against her in a rigid world of exacting standards, yet she never abandoned dance, carrying its discipline into her acting career. Each movement on screen reflected years of training, transforming personal disappointment into a grace that would define her legacy. The burden of self-criticism. Audrey's public image of perfection masked an inner world of self-doubt. Despite her legendary beauty and poise, she was often deeply self-critical, focusing on perceived flaws rather than accomplishments. Time gradually softened her perspective, and she embraced aging as a natural stage of life. According to her son, she viewed each chapter of life as an opportunity for growth, family, and giving back. This acceptance helped her cultivate a quieter, more grounded confidence. Audrey's journey illustrates that elegance and self-acceptance are not born from external validation, but from a willingness to confront one's vulnerabilities with honesty and courage. Love, engagements, and heartbreak. Audrey's search for lasting love was both sincere and challenging. In 1952, she became engaged to industrialist James Hansen, a romance she described as love at first sight. However, the realities of their busy lives led to a painful breakup, reinforcing her belief that marriage required true commitment. Soon after, she met actor Mel Ferrer, marrying him in 1954. Their shared work and rising fame complicated their marriage, and though their union produced a son, Sean, strains persisted. Rumors about Ferrer's controlling nature circulated, but Audrey often dismissed them. Despite heartbreak, she remained devoted to motherhood, finding profound purpose in raising her child. Finding stability in later love. After her divorce from Mel Ferrer, Audrey's heart remained open. While traveling in the Mediterranean, she met Italian psychiatrist Andrea Dotti, forming a bond that offered gentleness, understanding, and stability. Their marriage in 1969 provided her with a sense of balance she had long sought. Audrey could focus on family, personal fulfillment, and humanitarian work without the intense pressures of Hollywood scrutiny. This chapter of her life reflects her evolution from youthful romantic idealism to mature appreciation for genuine partnership. Through this relationship, Audrey experienced a love that complemented her life rather than overshadowing it, reinforcing her belief that emotional fulfillment is a journey, not a singular moment, turning pain into compassion. Audrey's experiences with loss, hunger, and personal struggle informed a profound empathy that extended beyond her family. She dedicated her later years to UNICEF, striving to alleviate suffering for children worldwide. The memory of her own childhood hardships remained a guiding force, transforming personal pain into acts of service. Audrey's humanitarian work became a testament to her understanding that beauty is not only outward appearance, but also the capacity for kindness, endurance, and sacrifice. Her legacy demonstrates that grace is cultivated through lived experience, and true influence arises when personal lessons inspire action for the greater good. The final challenge. Even in her final years, Audrey faced life's challenges with courage. Diagnosed with a rare form of cancer, she remained focused on giving rather than receiving, prioritizing family and charity work. Her composure and dedication, even while confronting mortality, reflected the resilience she had honed over a lifetime. Audrey's story reminds us that elegance is inseparable from the trials one endures, and that lasting influence comes from the combination of inner strength and outward generosity. She left the world not just as a style icon, but as a symbol of endurance, compassion, and the quiet power of a life lived with purpose. Conclusion beyond the icon. Audrey Hepburn's life was far more than a series of glamorous films or a celebrated smile. It was a story of survival, determination, and empathy shaped by early loss, war, and personal struggle. Her grace was forged through adversity, her beauty intertwined with resilience. From ballet recitals in occupied Europe to global humanitarian work, she demonstrated that true elegance arises not from perfection, but from the courage to face suffering, learn from it, and give back. Through her son's reflections, we see Audrey as a mother, a woman, and a human being whose legacy continues to inspire both admiration and compassion.